And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at a game called Lords of Xidit, which is a rethinking of an older game called Himalaya, which I never played. But it sticks that older game, which is over 10 years old, into this universe, and this universe is the same universe as Seasons. In fact, this game comes with some cards you can use in Seasons. Huzzah! Unless you're someone who loves Seasons and want these cards badly and don't want to buy a whole new game. But this is a very different style game with its winning conditions and with the way that it works. It's a programming style game where you program your movement. Let me show you. Okay, the first thing you'll notice is just really what a gorgeous board this is. This shows the land of Xidit, and each person has a hero who they're going to be moving around the board, going from spot to spot. Now, what you're going to be doing is, at the beginning of the game, you're going to place these 3 tokens randomly here. One of these stands for gold coins. Another of these stands for castle pieces that you'll build all over the board. And the other stands for influence that you will have on the board. The reason you have these is these determine who wins the game. But this is a 5-player game setup here. So what happens is, at the end of the game, let's say yellow has the most gold, blue has the second most, green has the third most, black has the fourth most, and red has the 5th most gold. Well, black and red are both eliminated from the game. Then we look at number 2, and let's say that yellow had more castles on the board, and green had the second most, and blue had the third most, then blue is eliminated. Then we get to the final, and we see that green has the most influence, and yellow has the second. That means that green wins the game. So you have to have the most of this one, but one person's eliminated here, and 2 people are eliminated here in a 5-player game. In a 4-player game, only 1 person's eliminated in this round. So, and in a 3-player game, there's a dummy player. So, anyhow, so that's what you're going to be trying to do over the course of the game. And you're going to be moving around, and you're going to be trying to get these 3 things. To get these 3 things, you need to beat monsters. So here's a monster you need to beat. This monster will either give you 3 castles in this adjoining castle section. So if I was blue player and I beat this monster, I could pick 3 castles and put them here. There's only 4 castles allowed in each spot, and only 1 person can put them there. So the first person to put a castle in the spot has it. He also would give me 3 gold if I beat him, which I just take from a supply and put behind my shield. Or he gives me 1 influence. When I get an influence, I can place an influence token in any region next to this monster. So I can put it here, here, or here. So if I put it here, or maybe I could put it up here, at the end of the game, the total number of influence you have, you see which regions you have the most of these markers in, and you get that much, and second place gets that much. The middle region has this castle here that you just drop the influence in, and at the end of the game, we reveal to see who has the most influence in the middle region, because that's worth 6 or 4 influence. To beat this monster, I'm going to need 2 farmers, or I guess 2 armed farmers to beat that monster. Those I'm going to get from recruiting stations. So, that's the goal of the game. The way you play the game is with this really cool mechanism here. This is the yellow player's mechanism. And each round of the game, and the game has 12 rounds, 9 if you want to play a shorter round. And in each round, you're going to take this and you're going to program your actions. So for your first action, I'm going to do that. Second action, I'll do that. Third action, fourth action, fifth action, sixth action, etc. What do the actions mean? Well, the blue, the red, and the black action simply move on that line. And you have to do the action. And so one player goes first each round. That person will do their first action, and then everyone else does their first action. Then they'll do their second action, and so on. So if this says move black, I simply move here. And if it said move black from there, I'd move back. Another action is take an action. This is the action spot. If I'm at a monster, I can fight that monster. If I have the 2 different things that are needed to beat it, or maybe more, I pay those things. I get 2 of the rewards out of the 3. Then I discard the monster tile. If I use the action thing and I'm at a recruiting spot, I take one of the guys, but I have to take the lowest guy first. Orange is the lowest, then green, then gray, then white, then purple. So I go around each of these wheels, and each wheel reinforcement disc is different, and you take the lower one and put it behind your shield. And then sometimes you have a rest action, and that simply means you do nothing that turn. Sometimes you'll do that because if I know you're going there also, maybe I want to rest one turn and let you take the lesser guy so I get a higher guy, which can get bigger and better monsters. You're only allowed to recruit one soldier from each spot on a turn, on all 6 turns, 6 actions of a turn. When the last guy is recruited from a spot, that is also discarded. Over here, whenever you get rid of a recruiting tile, you get to bring them on the board. Whenever you get rid of monster tiles, you bring them on the board. And whenever they're discarded to the opposite pile. So each monster that's discarded is placed here. So when we run out, we add new ones. And what's really interesting is you can see where stuff's coming. So you can see here that this is a 5, and here's my pile. So the next recruiting tile that will come out immediately when someone takes the last spot in a tile is 5. So I can go to City 5 and position myself to take an action if I think it's going to come out on this turn. I can also see that number 2 is the next one. When these are all gone, any monsters that are here would just be flipped over and become the new pile. And so these tiles kind of recycle, and if you ever can't put any out, then Titans awaken here in the middle, and you can fight these anywhere. They're not as good as regular monsters, but you can beat them with anything, any combination. And so you're going to take these 12 turns of the game, and whoever, I already told you how to determine victory. The only thing is here, at the end of 3 of the rounds, at the end of 4, 8, and 12, there's a mustering, and you can show how many you have of each behind your shield. You don't have to. But whoever shows the most farmers gets an extra gold. Whoever shows the most archers gets 2 extra gold, and an influence, 2 influence, and a free castle on the board. So that could be critical and help you win the game. At the end of 12 rounds, someone's going to win. The winning conditions for this game are the most unique thing. It's kind of hard to work your head around. Let's say you need the final thing is gold. So to win the game, I need the most gold. But I don't really need the most gold. I just need more gold than anyone else who had the most castles. And I don't need the most castles. I just need more castles than anyone else who had the most influence. And I don't need the most influence. I just need enough that I'm not eliminated. Really interesting, and as the game progresses, you need all 3, but how much do you need of each particular one? And someone who might look like they're losing can come into second place or even first if they manage to pull it off right. That's very interesting, and one of the facts I like about the game. The other is just the component quality. I mean, I really like these castles and everything else, the little soldiers, the artwork. It's just amazing. When you put it on a table, it's stunning and wonderful to look at. These programming dials are really cool. I like them quite a bit. Programming. I enjoy the programming in this game quite a bit. First of all, it's easy. You sit there and go, okay, I'm going to pink, then I'm going to go blue, then I'm going to do an action there, then I'm going to go here and here. Then you take it a level deeper. I'm going to go there and there, but I'm pretty sure Bob is going to go there, and he's going to take that guy, so I'm going to go there a little bit later, and that might bring out another tile, so I'll go there. I really enjoy that second level of the programming. Trying to guess when things are going to show up. Trying to guess what other people are going to do. And you can get foiled over by other people sometimes. Not as badly as other programming games like Robo Rally, but where you were meant to, you waited in action because you knew that they were going to grab something, but they also waited in action, so you ended up basically wasting a turn, one of your 6 turns. Very interesting, very cool, but yet very simple. This game has a very good flow. It just goes around the table, grabs stuff. But there's some pretty interesting thinking that goes on behind it. I very much recommend this game. Very solid game. Marvelous production values in it. Great. I have to admit, I'm kind of a sucker for programming games as it is. But this is a very good one. And I think the victory conditions are cool. And at the same time, very easy to teach and jump into. A very solid, good game from Asmodee, which seems like I'm saying that about a lot of their games this year. Lords of Xidit.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!